Mm.
Thank you.
Privilege to be in the company of the loved ones of our deceased. And we will know, some of you may not be aware of a full name, a full range of names. And Sheila, you know Sheila, and Balbina Sandy. She, in fact, was a very loving person. I know we are pressed for time, so I will be very quick as regards whatever he said. She has been very, very, very much a person of significance, not just in her community, but we know full well that she had a full life. She was an activist in the social and the political circles. More so, she was a person who was very much there and had a passion for community life and family life. Again, now, I will not delay much on that note. However, in terms of her legacy, who may not know, she was an offspring from the American descendants. The American are a unique set of African persons who came to Trinidad in 1860, 1815 thereabout. And may I say, again now I will be very concise, she was very much instrumental in preserving the history of our legacy. And I would very much, I have great passion right now as I see 3 months ago she literally did an interview for 2 hours straight. And she was one of our richest minds in terms of our legacy who has left us. But I trust that it is for a better life. And we all know, we may all be of various religious persuasions, but I know for sure the life that our sister lived was one of reaching out to people. And I even got the message of her when she resided outside of the country. Unknowingly to others, I heard about her, how she worked, and she worked tirelessly. So I do thank God that we can stand here in the presence of our loved ones and her friends and well-wishers. We know because of the COVID protocol, we cannot fill this sanctuary. But those who cannot come, I know it's on stream. We have technology to our advantage. Because again of the time factor, I have just on our stage here a man who believes with shaka shaka. You know that song shaka shaka? Some guys have a song shaka shaka da 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 da. However, he is a very serious spiritual leader, and in company with him is his dear friend. And shaka shaka, the libation, the floor is open to you, sir.
Pleasant afternoon, everyone. Pleasant afternoon, everyone. Now turn to the person on the side of you and say it's a celebration. Yes, when we say it's a celebration, it means that we are honoring and remembering the legacy of Sheila. Asher? Just as we had said last night, when we say the word Asher, it's our word of command that symbolizes or signifies it shall be so. When we say Olodumare, it simply means our God, the womb of creation, the owner of the universe. Asher? So we invite everyone to open their minds, open their uri to what is about to take place here. Before we start any ceremony, we must give homage to whom homage is due. Asher? So I humbly invite everyone to please stand. Honor tutu. Ile tutu. Tutu laroye. Olojoni mejubao. Iba Olumare. Iba to our Ori. We give homage to our mothers, homage to our fathers, homage to our ancestors that walked this road and this land before us. We give homage to Orunmila Barami Agbonirigun, the one who was there when we knelt and chose our destinies in heaven, or as we also know as Orun. We give homage to Yeye Oshun, the sweet waters that kept us throughout our time here. We give homage to Orishanla, Baba Abatala, that helped to mold each and every one of us in our divine uniqueness. We give homage to Onile, Mother Earth, for always continuing to sustain us. We give homage to all the Orisha. We give homage to the sunrise, we give homage to the sunset, and we give homage to all the mountains, our highest points, that continues to galvanize and protect us at all times. We ask our God that as we start our celebration, that all the positive energies continue to guide and support us. We ask that this ritual here today, that it be counted as a success. We ask that all the legacies and all the memories that was created by Sheila will be forever etched into our minds, and that it shall be indelible to be removed from us. May we never forget the legacies and times of this remarkable, upstanding, courageous warrior of a woman who is known fondly by Sheila. I also learned last night as Mumsey as well. So we give homage and much homage. Thank you, Asher.
Thank you. Short and sweet. Thank you, Shaka Shaka. Okay, we've got a recording. Where is it? Monica Maris. Here, my granddaughter. Monica. All right. What Monica technology?
To me, always be the actor, producer, and star of your own show. I have carried those words with me for 29 years, since she shared them with me at my Sweet 16 celebration. What I often say I am most proud of is that her wisdom runs through my veins. And today she shares these words of wisdom with us. It is in the silence that the spirit of liberation leads us to the higher states of conscious awareness in seeking truth. the divine principles that upholds the laws of the creating presence and power of the Almighty. Religion is a topic full of controversy. The religious fanatic, beliefs based on emotional and the intellectual letter of the word and not on its deep spiritual understanding of its principles. This is just to say that I am outside of the little box that we were placed in, stagnation by certain people and groups, not for our own evolution, but to keep a people in spiritual bondage, controlled through fear and guilt. So this I say to my children, grandchildren, and great-grand, and whomever may read this: you are not like a tree that occupies a small plot. You are ever evolving. You should be open and receptive to your higher self and always question things. A weak mind can only accept. A strong mind inquires, rejects, and accepts. These are her words of wisdom to us all.
Short and sweet, and I know that our hearts were blessed. Our hearts were blessed. Thank God for technology. Give a hand to technology. Technology is blessed. Okay, we are moving on. No much time to waste. Her well-traveled granddaughter is calling herself Yaki. Are you there? How are you doing? Yaki. Yaki. Are you there? Welcome, 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 welcome. Give her. Right. Very young. Her task is very all over the world, I understand. She has quite a demanding role to play. So, come, please. Mom, she is.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mommy used to write me a letter every month when she migrated to the US. I was still in secondary school. And in the letter, she would put $20 US, and I would get that every month. In hindsight, I realized that there were a lot of words of wisdom in the letter, but I was just concerned with the $20. And as I moved to the UK, she would still write me, but at the end of it, she would say, well, you're an adult now, so you send me the $20. And I cannot remember ever replying to the letters, and I want to do that today. Dear Mommy, you lived your life as a demonstration of possibilities. When I think about you, I think that everyone that came into contact with you, it was like an experience. You know, you're always left with some type of experience, whether it was laughter, joy, getting above scolded, an experience of wisdom. You were just an experience, Mommy. You lived your life as a demonstration of community, how important community was. 20 Simpson Brown Terrace was the house that most of us knew growing up, and maybe we should have renamed that the Coquier Community Center, or maybe the Coquier Hilton, because there was always a meeting, a line, a party, or somebody staying there for 2 weeks until they get back on their feet, and that turned into 2 months. But she taught us that community was important. Mommy, you demonstrated what service is about. You dedicated your life in service to the community, and sometimes we didn't want to share you, but you felt that that was important, to be of service to your country. When I think of you, Mommy, I think of how you demonstrated the importance of family. Your sisters and brothers, you always gave us stories about them. You always had them around you. Your grandchildren, you made every one of us feel like we were the most important one. You demonstrated to us about forgiveness and second chances, and third chances, and fourth chances, and fifth chances. And sometimes I would say to you, Mommy, why? Why all these chances? And she would say, girl, go spit up in the air. You know what's going to happen? You would need to be forgiven one day. And that didn't mean anything to me at the time, but now, Mommy, you're demonstrating to me how important it is to forgive and to give chances. Well, let me tell you, when she's done, it's all over. And that, to me, is a demonstration of boundaries. Mommy, you demonstrated to us what courage is. And courage is about doing. I never found out why you joined and became a counselor. But in my head, I was thinking that the road needed to be fixed, and you wrote a million letters, and nobody responded, and you said, let me go and fix it myself. Because that was the type of woman she was. You demonstrated to us to find a way out of no way. The stories that you gave on how you built your house, you didn't have any money at the time that they asked for, and we had a house. You demonstrated to us living a life of possibilities. I will miss sitting down at the kitchen table while you make bacon pumpkin and talk about anything, politics, you name it. I will miss our phone calls, but don't call at 7 o'clock when the news is on. And I think all of us know when Mommy, when you watch the news, do not speak to you. We would have running jokes about she would be in the room arguing with the TV. And people would be asking her, who is she talking to? And even up to recently, I made the mistake and called at 7. And her response was, but you, I'm watching the news. Call me back. She wanted us to know that we could do anything. You demonstrated that, Mommy. You demonstrated to us that we can do anything, that we don't have to compete with anyone. We just have to compete with ourselves. Mommy, you lived your life and you demonstrated to us balance. You demonstrated to us love and forgiveness. And I think your work is done here. You have passed the baton on, and it's now up to us to live our lives in demonstration as an honor to you. Mommy, we promise, and I will support that we will honor your legacy. We will honor what you left, that demonstration of love and family and balance and fun and family and courage and the warrior spirit. Mommy, you remember the time when I came home after a fight in school and you asked me, you beat up? I said, no. She beat me up. I'm not raising any Mumsey, no. You have to learn when it's time to fight. And she handed me this book, the autobiography of Winnie Mandela. And she said, that's what a fighter is. And you remember that there are times when you have to fight. So, Mommy, as you leave us in this form, we will carry on the fight. We will always make you proud. And we will continue to live a life of demonstration that you left for us. P.S. We followed all your instructions. Love you.
No much break. Summer. Summer standing. Please. Summer now. We have to, you know, she mentioned a name, Winnie Mandela. I recall when Winnie Mandela came, and her mom did talk to me about Winnie Mandela. I recall doing the interview for her. And Winnie Mandela had a rare area of she said, sorry, not nice.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I was asked to do a special tribute on behalf of the grandchildren. It is difficult, near impossible, to condense in a few paragraphs the impact that our grandmother, Mummy, had on all of us. But collectively, and with the help of my siblings, Kinder, Mitzi, Lulu, and Karen, we have tried our best to put them into words. We think we learn from others based on what they tell us, but that's not true. Most of what we learn is from what they show us. Mummy showed us how to truly be an independent woman, a force of nature, and a warrior of God. All her grandchildren refer to her as Mummy. And that in itself indicates the role she played in all our lives. That role which transcended that of grandmother and was simply that of mother. Mummy loved all her grandchildren, and we all loved her unconditionally. She gave of herself selflessly, and she used every opportunity to teach us that there were lessons to be learned in every situation. Mummy, well into her 70s and 80s, made herself ever present when a great-grandchild was born. Whether it was the birth of great-grandchildren abroad or even in Trinidad, where in fact she adopted once again the mother role to another generation. Mummy was always there to encourage and to support and to shape and at times to scold us as she pushed us to transcend our circumstances. She was quick with an encouraging word whenever things did not go as planned, but also stressed the importance of not feeling defeated and allowing yourself to wallow in self-pity for too long. If there was only one thing you knew of Mummy, it was her love for reading. She often said that her books were her prized possessions and was one thing she would hurriedly ask you to return if borrowed. There was a manner in which she wrote her name in all her books that I always admired as a child. Her handwriting so delicate and letters curved with such precision, something I often tried to mimic even to this day, but still can't quite get my essays to curve the same way. Mummy always stressed the importance, especially amongst her granddaughters, to bring more to the table than just a pretty face, to be able to contribute to varied topics and to be able to critically think for yourself. Mummy could not have only spoken on any topic from philosophy, history, and politics, but she was able to formulate her own arguments and held strong to her own beliefs, not easily swayed by anyone's opinions. As teenagers, whenever she would catch us in idle gossip and banter, she would quickly stop the conversation. All the children have nothing better to do than talk about people. Here, look, go and sweep the house or cook some food. Find something else to do. She detested idle gossip And she often said there was better things to talk about than people, and would often instill in us to like our own whenever she heard us complaining to our friends or comparing ourselves to our friends. Mommy carried herself with a quiet level of dignity, even up until her death, always referred to by many as Miss Sandy. Her mere presence evoked a different reverence and respect. Any friend visiting the house, whether it be a friend of ours or a friend of any of our parents, whatever the age, however much of a bad John or a big man or woman he or she thought they were, they knew that once mommy was present, a different level of behavior was expected without even having to be told. If my brother was here, he would gladly give you the stories of mommy appearing on basketball courts, bars, and even illegal wappy games, generally places he was not meant to be, with a 2x4 looking for him, and having grown men scamper as she walked in. Despite being a strict disciplinarian, all of us, and even our friends, her nieces and nephews, found it easy to seek her counsel, which she gave freely and without judgment, and was quick with a funny antidote, as well as to ease your pain. Many of our childhood memories, our happy childhood memories, and by extension those of our friends, were surrounded around the Super Nintendo games and rollerblades that mommy would send for us each year. She made Christmases special when she came home. My sister would often speak of the guava branch that she decorated for a Christmas tree, and how much they were in awe of how beautiful it would look after doubting the ability of an old branch to look like a beautiful Christmas tree. I guess there was another lesson in that experience to be learned. Mommy often spoke that it was her dream to be a lawyer, a dream that was not realized, not by a lack of her ability, but the mere fact of being a woman born during a time where that opportunity was not readily accessible. She commented often how proud she was that her dream was realized by 2 of her granddaughters. In fact, she was proud of all her grandchildren and always celebrated everyone's success. And may I add, boasted often that her grandchildren were best looking, and we are a good looking bunch. She was quick to forgive and easy to love. She was a grandmother who stood at your side as you entered your battles and helped in whatever way she could to fight them. And for some of us, took those battles on herself when we were too weak to continue. Mommy was a firm believer in speaking your truth and standing your own ground, whether you stood there alone. She taught us how to stand with those who may not have anyone in their corner, and she stood with us when our corner was often empty. Her words, when something needs doing, do it. It is exactly how she lived her life, in service of others and taking care of everyone, even neglecting herself to do so. There is so much more to say about the dynamic person that was Mommy. If I had to include everyone's individual stories on Mommy, I would be here for hours. There would be no one else like her. Her legacy would live on through her children, her grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Whenever we catch ourselves in any problems, I know it would be easy to call to mind her many lessons and find that strength to carry on. Mommy loved Maya Angelou, and I will end my little tribute to you with a verse from the poem, When Great Trees Fall. When great souls die, after a period, peace blooms. Slowly and always, irregularly, spaces filled with a kind of soothing electric vibration. Our senses restored, never to be the same, whisper to us, they existed, they existed. We can be and be better, for they existed. Thank you, Mommy, for existing. We all love you and owe you an eternal debt of gratitude. Thank you.
And I was just experience the two previous speakers, they were very much, I admired Mommy's way of housekeeping. I am always fascinated by the way she treated you. God bless her soul. We have in the house, who is by the name of Mr. Eugene Bass. And he's not a rock horse, please. He's a gentleman. We were both father and sister together, but I can tell you, he's one man who is underrated in our country. A man who has he's the best of our guitarists. I'm telling you, he's in fact the best. The bass, the bass.
Everyone, good afternoon. I would like to say thanks to the family for having me here this afternoon. And I'd just like to say this on behalf of moms, that's how I normally call her. We've been in Cookie for all these years. And when I came here earlier, I saw a photograph with her. And that's how I always remember her. When Mama called me and told me. It hit me. And what I always remember is that beautiful smile. Every time, anywhere I saw her, any part of Trinidad I saw her, regardless of what, she always had that smile. That tells of the humility and the humanity that she has been possessed with. And I would wish that some of our elders in the society could use some of that to pass down to some of our young ones, because we are in a real mess. Thank you very much. Just want to do, I have to cut short this song because I have another engagement. Just want to do a little piece of Andre Tanker's song, River Come Down.
Minutes after they took I from the bottom
I ever had. Redemption songs, these songs of freedom, all I ever had. These songs of freedom, Mum's travel with the ancestors, Ishe Olowa Koleba Jawo.
Peter, our time is very short now.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brett Alexander. I'm sister to Sheila. I bring tribute from the Gomez family, from her brother, Michael Desmond Gomez, who's in Texas, her nieces and nephews who are away, other nieces and nephews who by some reason cannot be here this afternoon, so I bring condolences from them. A sister, an aunt, a great aunt is someone who loves you from the heart. No matter how much you will argue, you cannot be drawn apart. She's a joy that cannot be taken away. Once she enters your life, she is there to stay. She is part of all of us, our sisters and brothers here this afternoon, and she will always be a part of us. Sheila was a big sister in the family, the first of 7 girls and the second of 12 siblings. She was a family historian. Many a times there were heated arguments between Sheila and the rest of her siblings about politics, religion, family, history, because she knew most about our mother and father's family, right? So she knew about them. So even if we started to argue with her, we know we won the loss because she knew everything. She was the historian of the family, right? And she was very familiar with those topics, right? During the family gatherings, but we had like every year on the Gomez family, we keep a reunion. And all the sisters, brothers, all the relatives in Trinidad and Tobago get together every year. And the 7 girls, we had 7, one left, we made with 6, 1 left, 5, and now the chain is broken again, and we just have 4 of us. We were referred to as the Golden Girls. I don't know if it's because of how glamorous we were or because of our age. I don't know, but I'll take the first one. Right? We were the Golden Girls. We always sat together at family gatherings. Everywhere we go, all the girls were together. Right? Another thing with the Golden Girls, including Sheila, every Friday they met as a family with the sisters, every family, and had family gathering every Friday. Right? She was part of that. She has gone to meet her sisters, niece, Jean, her 3 brothers, Neville, Anto, and Glenn. Over the years, Sheila, for happy times shared through the years, for the loyalty, love, and laughter and tears, for the special things only you can do. For all of this and more, we thank you.
I know your program will have 2 or 3 items, but because of the fact that the climax of our evening will be the sermon, Shaka, you come to sir, and God bless you.
Pleasant evening again, everyone. Pleasant evening, everyone. On hearing the outpouring tributes of Sheila, aka Mumsey, it has led me to understand the rich legacy that this remarkable woman have left on this earth. As we had cited at the start of the program, that death is not what we think it is. On this side, where we stand, some of us may think that this is the last time we may see Sheila. But according to Oyeku Oshe, death is just transition. And when we speak about transition, it's when we leave this earthly realm in the form of flesh, our soul or our spirit will go somewhere else to meet the other ancestors who have passed on before us. So, just as we had said last night, if it wasn't for our ancestors, Sheila would not have been here. If it was not for Sheila's mother, Sheila would not have been here. And if it was not for Sheila's mother, she would not have been here as well. So we are seeing the long line of ancestors that have come and who have passed on. And with every child who is born, it's an ancestor who is returning. And when we return from the point of birth, we all have something called a destiny. And that destiny, it is what we have chosen in heaven to fulfill here on earth. So we heard about all these community activities that Sheila was involved in. And it has touched the souls and the hearts of many people who have come here on this day. And I know that if it was not for COVID-19, in this hall here would have been packed beyond capacity. And in that same vein, we know that this woman have left a legacy that has touched all of us. So I'm urging people, do not see death as the end. She has lived a life, she has worked hard, she has toiled, she has laid the foundation for many of us to stand upon on this day. When we see and hear of her aspirations of becoming a lawyer, and we have heard that some of her grandchildren have fulfilled that passion she had of becoming a lawyer, it is then we know that she has left a proper foundation for them to stand on. So parents, give yourselves a round of applause. Yes! And it is the sacrifices of parents that lay the foundations for us, the young ones, to follow on. Sometimes our parents wear one pants, they have two dresses. You know, they will leave themselves undone just for us to eat and just for us to be comfortable, because they know that they have a responsibility for training us and putting us in that place where we will walk our journeys in a particular way. And not just the responsibility of the parent to children, us the children, we have a responsibility as well to our parents to be obedient and to give them that support and not to cause them shame. So when we look at Sheila's children, and we see the kind of upstanding people they are, we know that she has done a wonderful job. Give them a round of applause, please. Yes, give them a round of applause. And it's because they themselves were obedient, they were receptive to all the training that she had given to them. Ashe? Ashe? When we hear of her involvement in politics and her involvement in the community as a councillor, it was not an easy task. It meant that she was a warrior, a woman who was not afraid to speak, a woman who was not afraid to take action. And when we say take action, she saw issues and problems in the community, and she took that platform to be the voice of the voiceless. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. She took that mantle to become the voice of the voiceless. And these are some of the criteria that must be known to all persons of being accepted into the realm of the ancestors. It is not one's riches. It is not one's garments. It is not the amount of houses or the amount of land we own. But it is our character that has been in line, in fact, that is in line to serving God and serving community and living our destiny. So all persons who knew Sheila knew that she had done just that. She went and she looked for what her roots were. I don't know from many persons who are here, but she was part of the Ifa Orisha community of Trinidad and Tobago. And we are proud to stand here on this day to say that she had indeed paid her dues, from what we could see. So it's indeed a pleasure for us to come here and give salutations, to give praise, and to remember some of these things that this warrior of a mother was to Trinidad and Tobago and the community. So everyone, I want to hear a resounding ashe. Ah, 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 ah. Yes. May Sheila, the great mother, the great warrior she was, be forever remembered in the minds and the hearts of all of us. Don't forget her, always remember her. In remembering her on a morning, pour some libation, call her name, and get to find out more about the tradition that she had immersed herself in. Ashe? Ashe. Thank you.
Quickly, Gloria Copeland and Jules Samuel, are you here? Are you one of them are here? Gloria Copeland, Jules Samuel. You are? We are now stealing some time. Our time is up. But momentarily. You can come together, both of you. Both of you come please. And the disease was particularly concerned with the oil in some way. You can let's say, our time is now, we are out of time literally. We are out of time.
Good evening, everyone. Well, Sheila is one of my friends, one of a dear friend. She became my friend after her daughter was my friend. And as her daughter said, Mommy is always teaching my friend. You know, Melvin and I met in a drama group in the 70s. And then I met her beautiful mother. And I fell in love, just like how granddaughters described her, I fell in love with her as well. And I believe she became more friend to me than Martha. That's where the jealousy came in. But anyway, as the granddaughter said, I cannot say anything more. Sheila was just the person that was described here today, and I am proud to be one of her friends. She even, we became members of the senior group in Montreal. The Trinidad and Tobago Federation of Women's Institutes, they organized this group, and Sheila became the secretary of that group, and what a great secretary she was. She just resigned last year because she said, let somebody younger take over. Although all of us are almost the same age. She said, let somebody else take over. But while she served well, and we were proud of her as our secretary. May your soul rest in peace, Sheila. May the angels and archangels take you to heaven, because I know that's where you are headed. Thank God for you today.
Good afternoon, everyone. I stand here representing my mother. I grew up in Pleasantville with Mrs. Sandy and her children, so I consider her a mother. But I want to speak today on behalf of my mother, because Mrs. Sandy has been, if anyone has been a mentor of my mother, Vanessa Samuel, Sheila Sandy is that person. She has guided her along. Before I left home, she was remarking how when she met Mrs. Sandy, she has always been a friend. She has always been someone who will guide her along. She never showed her any disrespect or resented her in any way. And when I sat here a few minutes ago and heard the comments of her daughters and heard the comments of the grandchildren, I must agree with you. That is the person I knew before I left Trinidad years ago. I won't remember the number of years. But she never changed. She was always willing to give a kind word, a guiding light for all of us. So today I want to thank her for the role she played in our lives, and promise that we will continue that role, remembering who she was, what she did, and in the end, we talk of a time when we meet on that resurrection, she'll be proud of all of us because we have carried a legacy with her. May God grant the children the blessing of the parent, and she will always be remembered for who she was, what she did, and she would not be disappointed in the end. May God bless all of us as we carry on the legacy of Sheila Sandy.
I'm very grateful. I recall the very last occasion I sang with her. She sang this song, Children walk the road. Remember, children walk the road. Children of Zion, they've got to walk the heavenly road. Sheila walk the road. Sheila walk the road, Lord. Children of Zion, they've got to walk the heavenly road. She said, Miss, she never get weary. She tell me that. She never get weary, yeah. Oh Lord, talk to Lord, yeah. She walking on the feet and she never get weary. Before you put on. But I'm very grateful to the official who have given us an extended time, about 10 or so, 15 minutes. But may God bless us all. I know that we all had to have, according to the Shaka, if we had a regular period of time, this place would be crowded. But thank God for technology. And I do hope that the family will continue in the stream of our life. 4 months ago, we had a 3 hours interview with Sheila, and she just wants to talk and talk and talk and talk. But I would hope that there will be goodness. And I thank the sermon was so very simple. Shaka, thank you for your sermon. It was very complimentary to the unity, to everything that happened. But our time is fast spent. It's a pity. But God knows best. Thank you, people. Thank you, ma'am, for the extension. And may God love us and let us try and live a life according to Corporal. if quarter of the standard of her, it's a big standard. We thank our dear loved mommy for the peace and the exemplary life. May God bless us all as we continue in this world of demands. Thank you so much, people. Blessings. Blessings. The burial will take place at the St. Cemetery. So again, murderous actions of this COVID-19. I pray that we all work safely. Thank you all again. Burial at St. Clements, St. Madeleine, Muerto, St. Madeleine, Manhattan Road, in the British town. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So we've got to leave right now because we have occupied another ceremony. So I don't want my dear friend to be questioned. She gives us some time to leave. What of her case? As of now, please. As of now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, people.
Claire.
Hello.
Beep beep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I write on cookie here.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Flat down. Careful.
Afternoon, everyone. Pleasant afternoon, everyone. This is not the final resting place of Mother Sheila. This is simply her entry point, her point of entry back into the ancestral plains. So we may see it as a grave site, but long ago, this is one of the ways in which our ancestors used to go back to the ancestral realm. So we give thanks. As we had said, we give thanks for the legacy, the life and the times of Sheila, who left an indelible memory in the hearts and minds of all of us. Ashe? We know that she was a warrior. We know that she was a warrior. And it's only fitting that we give her some songs as we send her on her journey. Ashe? Now this song is simple. This song is simple. All everyone here would be singing is Warrior, eh, Warrior, oh, Warrior, eh, Warrior, oh. Ready? Iya was a warrior, a big strong warrior. She have a weapon in her right hand. Warrior, eh, warrior, oh. Voices, voices. Warrior, eh, warrior, oh. Warrior, eh, warrior, oh. Warrior, oh. Warrior, eh, warrior, oh. We could do better than we could do better than that. This woman, from what we have been told, was a warrior. Warriors don't sing like that. Warriors sing with passion, with vibration. So let's try this again. Iya was a warrior, a big strong warrior. She have her weapon in her right hand. Warrior, eh, warrior, eh, warrior, eh, warrior, oh. Warrior, eh, warrior, oh. Warrior, eh, warrior, oh. Iya was a warrior. By one, two by two, 3 by 3, ancestors go them by the number. Sing the chorus. One by one, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, ancestors go them by the number. Hey, 1 by 2 by 2, 3 by 3, ancestors go them by the number. Hey, 1 by 2 by 2, 3 by 3, ancestors go them by the number. Hey, we never get weary yet. We never get weary yet. Long days we put in the field and we never get weary yet. We never get weary yet. Never. Hey, we never get weary yet. Never get weary yet. Long days we put in the field and we never get weary yet. Never. Hey, we ain't a rumbling, we ain't a rumbling, we ain't a rumbling. Coming from the mountain, the ancestors calling, the ancestors calling. We ain't a rumbling, coming from the mountain. Voices! I ain't a rumbling, I ain't a rumbling, I ain't a rumbling, coming from the mountain. Ancestors calling, ancestors calling. I ain't a rumbling, coming from the mountain. Ah, Timboru, Timboru, hey, le gun gun. Timboru, hey, le gun gun. Timboru, 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 hey, le gun gun. Timboru, hey, le gun gun. Timboru, Timboru.
Mama leta oh, mama leta, mama leta oh, mama leta, mama leta oh, mama waluje, mama kiriti biti ye, mama shumbonde, mama kiriti biti ye, mama shumbonde, auye, auye, auwa, auye, auye, auwa, auye, auye, auwa, auye, auye, auwa. Mama leta oh, mama leta, mama leta oh, mama leta, mama leta oh, mama waluje,
Mama leta oh, mama leta, mama leta oh, mama leta, mama leta oh, mama waluje.
Mama leta oh, mama leta, mama leta oh, mama leta, mama leta oh, mama waluje.
Hey, mama leta oh, mama leta, mama leta oh, mama leta, mama leta oh, mama waluje. Ashe. We pay homage to the east, to the west, to the north, to the south, above and below. We ask Olodumare that this entry point of Sheila be sanctified, be cleansed from all forms of negativity, seen and unseen. We ask as this water touches the earth, may it bring coolness, may it bring calmness, may it bring prosperity and purity. We ask that as we commit Sheila's body to Mother Earth, may Mother Earth not spit her out. May Mother Earth accept her with open arms. May we forever remember her memory. And may we always be reminded that we must never forget our Ashe. 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 So, phone. Every view, you got a chance at a view. All right.
You can sing? Yeah. We're on the sun. You tell?
Oh yeah, mini yankarele.
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 Oh yeah, mini yankarele. Who's up here?
Oya o, olóko de ayaba máa wọlé.